There is a person by the name of Carrie Lake. Cool name, terrible person, and pretty cray as you're about to witness. And I have an interview for you, a few moments to play from it. And the first clip is just your general insanity. I don't know why some of these MAGA politicians feel the need to be so much more crazy than they actually are. I know Carrie Lake doesn't believe this, but she's about to say something that is so wild. And that's fine with the hosts. Then she gets asked a question by one of the interviewers, and Carrie Lake's answer is so absurd that even this host, who was fine with the COVID stuff, as you're about to see, the first part, is shocked by the absurdity of what Carrie Lake tries to get away with. So you'll see what I mean. But first, here Carrie Lake says that COVID was unleashed to hurt Trump politically. It was specifically, I guess, designed and then targeted at Trump to hurt him in the election.
You don't think they're going to lie about President Trump? And then why did COVID come about? Ask yourself that.
The media, that's what I want to know.
The media, well, I think we know. To stop a man named Donald J. Trump. They could not have him in again. And a lot of it had to do with that. And so,
no pushback there.
We're being lied to every day. And the question...
I was like, wait, did I hear some pushback? No pushback. That's fine. Gonna pause your viewing of this video to ask that you subscribe to the channel, but also tell you, as you can see, different location. We're traveling right now in Wisconsin for a Trump rally. We're gonna interview Trump supporters. Should be crazy, but very grateful to the guys for setting up a really good setup here in this rental house. If you want to support adventures like this and content like this, free, just clicking that subscribe button is greatly appreciated. Why did COVID come about, she says? And I just want to take a quick pause before we go further and again remind you, don't get numb to this. This is just crazy town. And it's so easy to go, yeah, we've heard people say this. She is the Republican nominee for Senate in the state of Arizona. She could decide who has the majority in the Senate of the United States of America. And she's saying, why did COVID, quote unquote, come about? Because they had to take Trump out of office. They had to hurt him politically. They were so scared of him getting another term. What does that mean? Really go with me. What does that mean, Carrie Lake? They designed it specifically and then unleashed it and killed millions across the entire world just to hurt Trump politically, and this is the part of their logic that just makes no sense. Not only do they not have evidence of what they're saying, obviously that's just silly, but let's just even give them that. Let's just assume maybe this could be true regardless of the evidence or no evidence. Narratively, it doesn't even really strike one as coherent because a bunch of leaders got more popular in the crisis. That happens a lot. If there's a crisis in your country and you're the president, in the case of the United States, you can actually see a political boost because people rally around the leader. It's just that Trump messed it up so much. So Carrie Lake, you're saying that you knew, or the whole, whoever the they is that did this, that everyone just knows Trump's so incompetent that if they unleash something on the United States, he would bungle it so bad that it would hurt him politically instead of, like more competent leaders, help them politically because of the crisis leadership. So crazy stuff there. But again, that's okay with the interviewers. Here, Carrie Lake's answer is somehow even more absurd that the female interviewer seems not to be buying it.
Burning question, because I feel like as a woman to woman, and I know you're connected to Trump, right? It's everywhere. You guys are kind of like a connected.
Thursday, he'll be here Thursday.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I'm connected to him, and I'm lucky to...
Well, I mean, I'm connected to him in that my entire political identity is wrapped around him, but I don't know.
Call him friend. I'm honored to call him
But
friend.
let me just ask this one part, because it's the obvious when you have a daughter, right? Mm-hmm. And there's certain behaviors with Trump that it's hard for me to overcome. Like, it's the obvious. I don't need to go into all of it, but with women and the way he behaves and so, like,
I don't understand that.
You don't understand
No,
that?
I mean, I've seen him around his family. He's incredible. He's raised an amazing daughter, 2 daughters. I know both of them.
What about the other stuff in the media? Would that be just...
Well, a lot of it is lies.
Yeah, just lies. Like the audio recording of him bragging about sexually assaulting women and the jury finding that he was liable for sexual abuse? Just lies. Just sort of all media. You know the fake news and what they do. They falsify court documents and create jurors to sit on a jury that is all rigged. Oh, gosh. And there, it's funny. Carrie Lake and I have more of the same line of questioning to play for you, but it's funny how she goes, as the interviewer is asking the most obvious question, as a woman who clearly who clearly sympathizes with your stance, are we supposed to just look past the horrible things Trump has said and done to women? And Carrie Lake goes, acts sort of shocked by it. Well, I don't know. To what are you referring?
Just looking at it, and I'm looking at Trump as clear as I can without being influenced by anything. And inside of that, even the way he speaks, and there's been things on camera, I just want to relate to you a little bit to know, like, are we just turning, because he's still the best fit, are we just kind of turning our head to that?
No, I think that I know him well. I mean, I've been around him a lot, and I know the way he treats me. I see the way he treats people incredibly well. I know he's a man of the people. We can see President Trump interacting with thousands of people. Joe Biden doesn't interact with anybody. He stumbles and bumbles and walks around and gets lost. I don't see him interacting with a lot of people. And I see a lot of awkwardness and inappropriateness. I've seen the video of him touching children, sniffing people's hair. To me, there's some real problems with Joe Biden. And I'm not saying compare like Trump's just better than Biden. He obviously is better in my opinion. But I've also seen the family he's raised, the grandchildren he's raised. And I know that the media has done a number on.
Okay. Oh my gosh. You know, I'm sitting here. If you're noticing that I seem a little worn out, it's because we just got back from the Trump rally that I referred to in a past segment, and was talking to Trump supporters. And I actually brought up Kari Lake and said that because we were already prepared for the segment, so I'd seen that clip of her saying the COVID stuff and this stuff, and was asking Trump supporters about it. They love it. And then I went through with a lot of them. One guy, I had him say it back to me. So the 2016 election popular vote, because Trump said that was rigged and he actually won the popular vote too. And then the Trump supporter says, yes, correct, rigged. Okay, 2020 election? Yep, rigged. Criminal case in Manhattan, rigged. Criminal case in Florida, rigged. Criminal case in DC, rigged. Criminal case in Fulton County, rigged. Okay. Fraud case, rigged. Sexual abuse case, rigged. All of the media coverage that's bad about Trump, rigged. And at some point, you can't actually believe that, right? The world can't possibly be that way with zero evidence coming to surface of it. But that's what they're able to say. And the fake news term, it's been so weaponized where being asked about things we've heard Trump say with our own ears, as I'm about to play for you, and things we've heard of him doing through court cases, very legitimate allegations and then determinations. And the response is, I think that's fake news. So insane. But let's see how much of a family man Donald Trump is, because she says, look, somehow Biden interacts with so many people. I don't even know what that talking point was, but I guess Trump has bigger crowds. So that means that he must be good with women. I don't understand the argument she's making. Weak. But let's see how much of a family man Trump is.
What will you tell your kids? That you voted for a felon and a criminal, supported a man found guilty by a citizen jury, went into the voting booth happy to pull the lever for the only former president in history to bear the mark of criminal shame. Will you tell them that breaking the law is how they should live their lives? That lying to their families about porn stars and hush money is how they should behave? Do you want your son to treat women like a man who was found to have committed sexual assault? Do you want your daughter to be a victim of a man like him?
You going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it?
And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab them by the...
Will you tell them that he was honest, that he was a good man?
Very fine people on both sides.
That he treated people the way you've taught them?
Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Will you tell them you're proud of his cruelty? happy with the ugly insults,
I mean, I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers.
the attacks on women, and the endless lies that the chaos, death, and danger he brought was worth it. We know it's hard to walk away and put country over party, but your kids are watching. You're not just voting for your future, you're voting for theirs.
Fake news. But then I'll also play this for you because, you know, Carrie Lake, it's not me who brought this up. Carrie Lake brought up the kids that he's raised.
She does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Okay, Ivanka, what's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that
If I weren't happily married and, you know, her father.
My daughter, Ivanka.
Yeah.
She's 6 feet tall. She's got the best body.
By the way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah.
She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
It's
She's
unbelievable.
tall. She's almost 6 feet.
You going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it? She does have a very...
Yeah, so raised some fantastic kids. By the way, I don't even want to circle back to this. It makes me so uncomfortable. But we all forgot it was reported widely that Trump in the White House was overheard fantasizing about having sex with his daughter Ivanka. Do you remember, before getting back to the Carrie Lake interview, when I brought this up to a Trump supporter? What are your thoughts on the federal indictment?
My thoughts? Oh, I'm not worried about it.
Not worried, like you don't think he did what he's being accused of?
I mean, what's this indictment being accused of? It's like, you know, they hand out indictments like cookies.
Well, he's only been indicted twice.
I mean, like, so you have the
Manhattan DA and then the federal.
Oh, that Manhattan DA. What a piece of I mean, a porn star. I mean, hey, look, every rich person's had sex with a porn star.
Party of family values, though, right?
Huh?
Party of family values, right?
I mean, I've had sex with a porn star.
And you would be a good candidate in the party of family values?
You know what? We all make mistakes. Show me a man with no conviction of the past. You know, show me a man who's never said a cuss word. Show me a man that's never, you know, had perverted thoughts. Show me a man...
Perverted thoughts about their own daughter, like Trump?
I think that was a joke. He said that on The View, and that was on The View. And he said he would like to... He said if he was dating somebody, he would date a woman like his daughter.
And the most recent reporting says that in the White House, he has been overheard fantasizing about having sex with her.
How does that relate what's going on right now?
I just think it's gross.
But you asked me, what do I think about his indictment?
Oh, I know, you just brought up porn stars, so here we are.
Look, we've all looked at porn. We've all, you know...
We're just really going off the rails. Yeah, and the reporting I was referring to was Miles Taylor, a former chief of staff at the Department of Homeland Security, described several incidents that made, again, I feel just talking about it, in the Trump administration uncomfortable in his upcoming book, Blowback, A Warning to Save Democracy from the Next Trump, an extract of which was obtained exclusively by Newsweek. These incidents included, the book says, claims by aides that Trump made lewd comments about his daughter Ivanka's appearance and talked about, quote, what it might be like to have sex with her. Okay. There's that. So, good family. Just a good family guy. Here's more from this interview.
Not even sure I'm playing the game because that's why they dislike me so much. You know, I think playing the game in politics, sadly, I hate to inform the world, means you go in there, you grease palms, you say one thing in front of the public, and then behind scenes with consultants and lobbyists, you tell them I'm going to really do this. And I'm not doing that. And that's why they're coming at me. And that's why, a lot of people saw the video or heard the audio of the person trying to bribe me. Mm-hmm. I mean, this happens all. The sad thing about that audio that I put out is that happens all the time. And most people go, yeah, I'll take the money. But I'm not in politics because I want to be a politician. I frankly want to get in there, make an impact on my...
Oh, gosh. I get that that's a sexy phrase that, oh, I don't want to be a politician, but you are. That's what you are, okay? That's what you're doing. That's what you're trying to do, and that's what you want to be. And we can just want good politicians, right? But I'm not even going to be a politician when I'm a politician, okay? I'm going to be something else. I'm going to be a special Carrie Lake snowflake. But there, what was interesting to me is that she's saying, you know, I don't play the political games, and I wouldn't take the bribe. Now, two parts of this. The first thing is this sort of stereotype of someone who plays political games is her, because she has gone, as an example, back and forth on the issue of abortion rights and what her stance is, just to try to figure out what's the most politically advantageous thing to do. She was super anti-McCain Republicans and then realized that was really hurting her, so she flipped around on it. So that's also playing political games. You're not holding to your principles. You're just trying to get elected. But then the bribe story, it was crazy what that GOP chair guy tried to do, and insane, wrong, to be clear. I also have said before, I think she doesn't understand that it doesn't look good for her either, because it wasn't Democrats coming to her saying, hey, we want to give you a cushy job if you'll stay out of politics, which was the recording she's talking about. But instead, a fellow Republican, and his job is to get Republicans elected. And so he was saying, you lost your gubernatorial race. You're so politically toxic. Please don't jump in this race and lose us the Senate, which she just might do because of her extremism. So yes, what he did was wrong. And the reason why he so desperately wanted her to stay out of politics is not because she's a brave warrior that they want to hold back. It was her party saying, please don't ruin our political chances with your political toxicity. Let me know what you thought of all that in the comments. And if you want to get access to the daily bonus show, which is an extra episode of the show we do daily, you can do so by clicking that join button below.